Today we're doing a Rimworld losing is fun 500% difficulty speedrun. We'll settle in a temperate forest with year-long growing next to an ally. And we're using ideology for this playthrough, with supremacists and pain as virtue to avoid moo penalty on corpses and pain, and human primacy to get a crafting specialist for a +1 quality for all our weapons. Most importantly, we'll need simple burning to give us a 50% chance of getting a recruit. For our starting pawns, we're looking in the priority of skills, traits, and health. I'll be using RandomPlus to help roll for pawns. For our first pawn, we want construction and crafting, and I want to avoid health defects like bad spine for a negative 30% manipulation and negative traits like pyromaniac which sets your base on fire at random intervals. I ended up settling on Mal for construction and crafting, Sureja for plants and medical, and Boyo for mining. I'll explain these skills as we start the game. As soon as we land, we'll turn on the fertility map and plan our base. We'll be creating a 25x25 base and splitting it into 4 quadrants of 13. Inside a quadrant, we'll make an initial wooden base and a stockpile zone. At the same time, I'll be planting rice, chopping trees, and using that to create beds and tables. While the pawns are sleeping, we'll equip them with revolver and bolt action as we will get a mad animal event soon. We'll also get a stone cutting table and start creating stone walls. Also make sure to put walls in the middle or the roof will collapse and kill everyone. And we got our first mad animal event, a rat. Nothing crazy, and we'll dispatch of it very quickly. Since our base only has 1 constructor, we'll build 2 research tables and have the other pawns get started on researching smithing. This one will be attempt 16 and lord, I have spent too much time on this game. Oh, we got a cargo drop right on top of us. I never had this happen before. Too bad it's fungus, so we'll just let it rot. Our roof is finally completed, so we'll deconstruct the wooden base and light up with lamps to avoid a 20% work speed penalty. We'll do this with a power line and a wooden generator. And we got our first raid. He'll come through this door and we'll beat him down. Easy. Anyways, at this point we're running out of survival meals. And we don't want to eat rice straight up to avoid food poisoning, so we'll use the nutrient paste dispensers and move our tables and chairs next to it. If you click on the needs of a pawn, you can see what is affecting their mood. Since this place's beds is considered a barracks, and we're getting a terrible barracks debuff. We can get rid of this by planting medical sleeping spots and converting it to a hospital instead. We'll also create a kill tunnel using spike traps, which I'll explain when we get to our next raid. Now that we finished the tunnel, we'll focus fully on researching, rushing to unlock assault rifles. And we got our first disease, gutworm, which consumes 2 times more food. It's not going to matter too much as right now we want to bind some steel to create concrete flooring for 6% research boost. So far we have used the skills planting for crops, constructions for walls, mining for seals, and medical for gutworm. And that is why I chose these skills for our pawns. We're getting stable now, so we want to create effigies to recruit more pawns. Now let me show you a trick to gain infinite recruits. Normally in Rimworld, you get recruits from capturing enemies and breaking down their wills with social stats. However, this is unreliable as on losing is fun, most enemies will die when they are downed. So instead, we'll use symbol burning to recruit pawns whenever we conduct a good ritual. Normally, this will put the ritual on a 20-day cooldown. However, if you cancel the event right before it finishes, the cooldown is reset. This is probably to avoid perchance if you were to get raided, which is not this is the exact scenario. First, I'll use zones to make our pawns go back to base. One of the raiders managed to tailgate inside, so we'll just put him down. As for the other 2, they died to spike traps. I'll explain this kill tunnel in the next raid. But for now, I want to recruit a new pawn. We got unlucky with 2 boring rituals, but we succeeded on our 3rd try with Luna. She's greedy, lazy, and has no skills. Not a good pawn by any means. But we will keep her as we need all the manpower we can get in this speedrun. We just unlocked machining table, so we'll mine more steels to build it. And 2 random donkey joined us, so we'll create a fencing area and use them for later. In the meantime, I recruited Levi, a planter with no downsides, and I'll use her to plant some cotton so we can create our own clothes. We have settled for a while, so we will need more weapons. I'll make one of our pawns a crafting specialist and craft 2 shotguns for now. And all these machines and weapons require components, which is very limited on the map. So I'll use our donkey to create a caravan to trade at a nearby settlement. And we got a psychic drone event, which is a -18 mood. So we'll create a large wooden sculpture to counter this by making our base more impressive. The reason we do it out of wood is because everything in this game has wealth assigned to it. And the more wealth we have, the bigger the raids. And it will get insane later on with a 500% difficulty increase. And so while we're waiting, I'll be planning the outer walls for this base. We finally got microelectronics done, and to get the next research for assault rifles, we'll need high-tech research bench, which requires 250 steels and 10 components. We'll need 3 of these, so we'll continue mining the map. Another cargo drop appeared on the map, so we'll haul it off with another caravan to decrease our wealth and trade for more components. And right after our caravan left, we got another raid. Alright, so let me explain how a kill box works. Raiders will generally path to your colonies, and if they can't, they will destroy walls and doors until they can. Using this, we can funnel them into an opening, where there are melee pawns in front to stop the enemies, and shooters behind walls to dish out damage and have covers from range attack. That is the basic of it. The alternating columns and barricades are to slow down raider movement, and the spikes and fences will be in a zigzag pattern to force raiders to run into it while our pawns can avoid it. Right here, we have wood holding up the door, so I'll have someone haul the wood and the rest will kill the guy that came through. Now that the door is closed, the rest of the raider will default to going through the kill box, which makes the raid easy. And finally, we unlocked Assault Rifle, which will be our endgame weapon, so now we're all set to expand. So first, we'll move our raw resources outside to increase beauty. Then we'll plant more rice as I want more recruits. And we got Speedy, with both Bad Bag and Frail. Look at how slow she is. So we'll just put her out of her misery. Thankfully, our next recruit is a miner with the trait Hard Worker, which boosts his work speed by 20%. With all these people, I will need to start planting Heal Root for medicine. Our cotton is also coming in, so I'll make a tailoring bench for button-down shirt, pants, and duster. These 3 items, plus a flak vest, are the best armor in the game. We'll be using the settings of 53 hit points or higher, drop on floor, and lower ingredient search radius to 14, as on Infinity, it will constantly search the whole map, which lags the game. We'll continue making assault rifles for each colonist along with an EMP grenade. And while we're doing this, we'll start our burn box. Our burn box will be 29 by 13, with alternating walls. This will be our utmost priority, so we'll enclose it in a smaller wall for now. And we got a Mad Horse event, and we'll just gun him down. This was followed by a tribal raid, and there was a lot of them. But assault rifles were just so good, and we were able to handle it. And now we wait for our burn box to be finished. Oh, we just got our first mech event. Thankfully, this is a defoliator ship, which kills plants in a 100 tile radius. It will not reach our crops, so we'll just ignore it for now. It was time for another recruitment, and this time it took 6 tries. Depressive and Night Owl. Next. Let me tell you how I set the work priority for pawns. Firefighting, patient, and basic will all be at 1. Handle, cook, and hunt only needs 1 worker. I'll then put their best skill, in this case construction, as 2 and get rid of everything else. Haul and clean will be 3 and research as 4. The reason it is this specialized is that skill level matters way more than quantity in this game. I will also create another stone table to help get these wall ups, and if nothing happens, I'll be back in a bit. And while doing this, I sent another caravan to grab a reinforced barrel, and we managed to knock out multi-analyzer. To advance research from here, we'll need gold and plasteel, which we can't get yet, so we'll knock down everything else in the meantime. And finally, our kill box and burn box are complete. I'll explain them later when we use them. But for now, we'll use our reinforced barrel to create a motor for stage raids. We recruited Steven, and he's only good at shooting, so he'll be our shooting specialist, which means that he can fire 50% faster. And we got a heat wave. This can be countered with 2 ACs and a couple of cooling boxes. My allies also restocked, so I'll send another caravan for components. And we recruited a pawn with Wimp. Wimps can be very useful, as when they're knocked down, a hidden variable called the adaptation factor decreases, giving us smaller rates. I built a solar panel for more power, and the heatwave is now over, so we can continue working on the outer wall. Before building, I sent a chopping order so our constructors won't waste time cutting down trees. Alright, we got our first manhunting pack. Perfect time to show off the burn box. First, we'll equip 2 pawns with molotovs, and throw them into this empty room. Since this place is sealed and roofed, it is considered indoors, meaning heat will trap inside. The fences will slow enemies and the door is for access. The temperature will quickly go above 500 degrees, giving the enemy heat stroke and they will die just like that. I'll keep the fire going for a bit longer to burn the corpses. And we gotta flew into a mech breach raid. Since breach raid will destroy our walls, we'll fight them inside our base. But first, I'll need to treat every colonist with the flu or it will kill them quickly. Now I'll equip some pawns with the EMP grenade and stun them when they come in. Wimp will just have to tank everything. Good luck. We'll shoot the Scythers first so that it doesn't become a melee fight. And hopefully we should have enough firepowers for the rest. Nice. We got a wandering boat trader, so we'll just sell our excess materials like cloth. We also got another crafter with recruiting, and we'll begin planting psychic leaves to make psychic tea, which is a very valuable drug. Our research is mostly finished, so we'll send another caravan to get gold and plasteel for multi-analyzer. To be self-sufficient, we'll need a ground penetration scanner so that we can get any resources we want inside our own map. To do this, we will need advanced components. The only way we can get these is from caravans or ancient danger that spawns on the map. So I'll draft everyone and shoot open these walls. It ended up being 2 lancers and 2 pikemen, so we'll just brute force it. I opened the casket by accident during the shootout, but thankfully they were friendly. These ancient soldiers have no will, so they're easy to recruit. I'll capture them for now. And 2 of them ended up dying. Onesan is the only one left, so we'll strip her of her marine armor and wait for her religion to be converted. And we got 5 advanced components from that, which is more than enough for now. We got another recruit, and we're beginning to finish our top walls. Once we're done with the top walls, we can start the bottom walls. I'm going to add more research benches so that we can research fabrication to make our own components. I'm also going to free up these walls now that our outer walls are done. And here I'm going to create a center drop defense. Center drop rates will drop in the middle of your base, setting everything on fire. However, if you have pathable turrets, they'll target that instead. It is a very rare raid though. We got fabrication, and now we'll research advanced fabrication to build advanced components. Knock down winds once more, and create until we have 40 components. This pawn here is frail, has asthma, and is incapable of violence. But he can craft, and that's good enough for the speedrun. Nice! We got our first tough pawn. Tough is arguably the best traits in the game, halving all damage taken, making them the perfect tank. And at the same time, we recruited Onesan into the colony. Ooh, we got an infestation rate. There are 6 hives and they constantly spawn bugs. So we'll aggro these guys into our burn box, and then we'll come back out to destroy them. I'll also be building a second layer of outer walls, so I'll be back when they're done. We finally finished advanced fabrication, but to create advanced components, we need plasteel and gold. However, we're going to be stuck at a standstill until our ground scanners can find these 2 deposits. To quicken this, I want to build another scanner, but we don't have another advanced component. Luckily, the defibrillator ship from earlier drops it, and we should be strong enough to handle these Scythers. We'll start off with an EMP blast and we'll kite them in a circle around our shooters. And boom, there's our 1 advanced component. Right now we'll need more manpower. Because ship rates are gigantic, we'll need around 3 times more the pawns we have now. But we can get started with ship research in the meantime, and we'll supplement our deficiencies in gold and plasteel from caravan. We got a high psychic drone event, and Boyle is on a major break risk. So I'll put him on a bi-basic schedule so he can get double recreation and sleep bonus throughout the day. However, it wasn't enough to counter the whopping -42 the drone gift, and he went into a daze. Jesus. Thankfully, our next recruit is a miner who can replace him. And now I'm just praying these scanners hit a mineral deposit. We are zooming past our research though. We only have 7 projects left. We're also going to build a comms console along with an orbital trade beacon to trade with ships. And we can now produce psychic tea, and this drug is great, giving a 12 mood bonus for 6 hours. To avoid addiction, we'll only take it every 2 days only if mood is below 40. 1, 2, 3 failed recruits, and the tribal raid for the cherry on top. Oh, I got something for you, alright. I'll put 2 constructors to repair the doors once the raiders flee. Note that when the box is full, corpses flood out, meaning it needs to be cleaned after every raid. Wait, a toxic fallout? That is super rare. It'll last between 5 to 10 days and we'll need to stay inside during this period. But first we need to harvest our rice as we can't plant during this time. And now we hunker down. Our wealth is already at 80,000. Multiply it by 5 and it's at 400,000, which is already halfway to the maximum raid size of 1 million. We are running out of food, so we need to hunt the animals that are still left around. Steven will be our shooter and Levi will be our butcher. Chop chop chop! We are now 2 projects away from unlocking the ship, and the fallout ended. Ooh, a psychic ship with a bunch of Scythers. This is bad. a -30 debuff would be catastrophic. Alright, I have a plan, but it requires a grenade, so I'll put Crafter on it. Wimp will equip this grenade, and then I'll form a caravan with our pawns, carrying 21 explosive mortar shells. Hit send and instantly exclude everyone but Wimp from the caravan. Wimp should now be able to carry all 21 mortar shells in his inventory. This is the caravan exploit, allowing pawns to carry unlimited weight while forming a caravan. Our brave soul Wimp will then drop these around the ship and throw a max range nade. Kobe! Oh shit. Get out of there, Wimp! Back in base, I'll position everyone into the box with a tough pawn at the front. And Wimp made it back just barely. Alright, this is the newly improved shocking kill box. There are no spike traps, and instead of alternating columns and barricades, we do all barricades. This is because you can't shoot on a barricade time. Note that you can only have 5 rows of colonists before friendly fire activates. The mini turret is to activate collisions so that enemies don't stack up. The only problem left is that using assault rifles in a shotgun box will damage the walls, so I'll need Crafter to repair them. And I'll deathball the last sighters outside, and job well done. Time for new recruits. And it's interrupted by a manhunter pack. Somebody get on the Molotovs. Wait, it's a bunch of tortoises. That's a lot of turtles. Meanwhile, we'll use this downtime to reinforce our second layers of walls. Why is Wimp at a major break risk? Oh, I forgot to cancel the caravan, and he's just sitting around. My bad. Welcome back, Wimp. We do need more power, so we'll research geothermal. And we got another tough pawn. We'll get more components from trading, switch to corn for more food, and we will deep drill uranium for one of the 3 resources needed to build a ship. We will surround our geothermal with walls, and we will get bionic limb. We will also need to continue mining for a large amount of steel. Slow learner? Welcome to the colony. Sickly and lazy? Welcome to the S-Corp. I'll be back when we get more steel. Ooh, a mech raid. Pikemen and lancers. Thankfully, no centipedes. And done. With our steel deficiency finally removed, we'll make flak vests to protect our pawns. And our sickly pawn got malaria. God damn it. I'll heal him in a biopod. Out of sight, out of mind. Yes sir! We got plasteel deposit. Now all we need is gold to build a ship. I'll also put floodlights around the base to move quicker. And farm the rest of the fertile land. Get rid of predators, trade for gold, and we'll build concrete flooring to act as fire break. I also built a smelter with a crematorium to get rid of corpses and equipment. Oh, a deep drill infestation event. We should be able to power through this. That was harder than I thought. We're going to need more pawns. But for now, we'll start with our first ship part, the reactor. And we can get rid of research benches as we finish everything we need. We'll also build a second geothermal out here. And we recruited Reese. Alright, I think it's time to upgrade our shotgun box to a proper assault rifle kill box. It'll be pretty big since assault rifle has a range of 31 blocks, but it will allow all our pawns to shoot at once, unlike the current design. Why is Onez out on an insulting spree? Levi, put her down. Now Reese is the one on an insulting spree. Put him down as well. Before I was rudely interrupted, from the second tile, we want a mini room to throw EMP. And a raid happened. I guess I'll show you how collision works. As long as you have vision of an enemy through a door, they will start clumping up instead of stacking on top of each other like this. That's a lot of bodies. We'll finish up the construction, destroy these walls, and clean up the items holding up the doors. Make more sculptures for mood, create shelves for storage, and finish up the double walls on the top side. The longer the game goes on, the higher the expectation of our pawns, so we'll need to build more sculptures to make them happy. And blight has infected our crops. We'll need to cut them before it spreads to other plants, but my colonists are sleeping. The workaround is to zone them into an area, but even then they would rather sleep, so we will need to manually right-click each of them to do it. We'll get more gold and components from caravanning and place the artworks around the kill box. Another defibrillator ship. But luckily it won't reach us, so we'll just ignore it. Boring, terrible, terrible. Finally, a join. Welcome to the colony. Alright, deep drill infestation number 2. Let's see if we have the firepower needed now. And no downs. Perfect. I'm going to put more mini turrets around the base to act as dummy targets. We will replace Steven's prosthetic arm with a bionic arm and put Luna and Crafter in the same bed since they are married. Mech raid! And it's a breach. Alright pawns, line up. We'll get rid of Lancers first as they have one-shot kill potential. Nice, we got one. Let's do another volley. That's a bust. Wimp and Crafter are down. We have to get rid of these Lancers. One more down, and the Scythers are also taken care of. We will retreat for now. Crafter is going to die in 4 hours, while Wimp is fine. Let's see. Reese is bleeding to death in 7. Luna can treat him. Social Doc will rescue Crafter. And they're breaching in from the left side, so we'll fight them here. EMP when they come in. Now it's a race to see if the mechs will die before they adapt to the EMP. And we barely just have the firepower to finish this. Everyone is wounded. That was pretty close. I'll micromanage the doctors, and Onesan and Steven will fix the walls. And we have a first infection. Wait, no one treated the infection? Extreme infection. 79% developed while immunity is only at 73. She is not going to make it. We have to put her in the biopod. Hopefully the pod will cure the extreme infection and not the minor one. And 12 colonists got gutworm. You can't make this up. I will need to plant more heal root for them. And for the cherry on top, my caravan got raided by a one-man tribal. Steven, light him up. Deep drill infestation number 2. This time, no damage. The flak vest was coming in clutch. We'll load up our transport pods with gift and send it to Castan for plus 23 relationship status. Wait, that's my name! Send another pod and we're at 52. Once we reach 75, we can request military aid from them. We'll move all our deep drills back to base and trade for medicines using the comms console. And Luna got the wrong infection cured. Someone carry her back, please. Alright, we don't have time to wait for her, so we'll start our ship launch now. To finish this game, we'll need to build a ship and face 15 days of raids. Our first raids is all Scythers. They are strong against assault rifle killbots, as they can run at the guys throwing the EMP. So I'll need to move my tough pawns up to attract some attention. And we got a tribal raid at the same time. We'll need to finish this fast. Zara will tend to our pawns, and we made it out safely. Close these doors and heat up the burn box. We also ran out of food due to gutworms, so we'll butcher insect meat for now. Yo, this is not even our biggest raid, and it's lagging like crazy. I can't even put it on 4x speed anymore. Ship raids send 2 raids every 1.5 days, so we need to use this time to clean up. We'll use the smelter to get rid of equipment and butcher the corpses for human leather and food. Raid. All pikemen. They'll prepare for a while. And at the same time, we got our tribal raid. They are going to fight it out. The tribals might actually win. They are overwhelming them. Oh, never mind. They fled first. We'll clean up the rest of the mechanoids. We have our first siege raid. They'll build motors and pound at us from a distance, so we'll need to aggro them with our motors first. And then afterwards, a burn box. Pirate raid. No problem. At this point, we're only worried about breaches or mechanoids. Some of the pirates ended up fighting the psychic ship. Damn, they got decimated. Tribal raid. And a mech breach raid. That's not good. Okay, what I could do is let them fight it out first. Now that their numbers are dead, we'll take it slow. Again, we'll focus on the Lancers first, then we'll kite the Centipedes. Tough will draw attention while we take them out one by one. Nice! Alright, we need to fix this wall ASAP. Another tribal breach. My pawns are all wounded. I think we call for reinforcement here. We'll draft everyone, and while my allies are fighting, we'll pincer them from the bottom. This is huge for thinning out their numbers. Now we'll kite back in groups of 2 so that we're always dishing out damage. Good stuff. Mech raid, all centipedes, and a tribal raid at the same time. I'll set up the kill box while they fight. Our shield belt pawn will attract all fire. And if the belt is broken, Wimpcraft, it's your turn. Incapable of violence doesn't mean incapable of getting hit. Get in there. Easy. Tribal breach. They're coming in from the donkey pen. Alright, Escort, gun them down. We'll kite them to the right and split them up. It is fine to let them destroy the base. Our pawns are way more important right now than our resources. One group fled, and now we'll just deathball the last group. Oh my god, the base is so messy. First priority, repair the door. Second, shoot this dude. Third, clean up the blood. Mech raid, pikeman lancer. Alright, we have 8 pawns on the verge of minor breakdown. Let's finish this fast. And a pirate raid? Oh, can I get a break? This raid is gonna take a bit. Onesa, why are you breaking down? Lord have mercy. I have dealt with your proposal rejection for 23 days now. Whatever, just put them all on a biphasic schedule. Breach raid. Tribal. We'll start the fight outside. Get rid of the guys with axes first. Tough will taunt the enemy and it's as simple as that. Only 4 pawns injured. We'll take it. And it's a tribal raid. And another one. And another one? Only in Rimworld can you get 200 raiders attacking your base. The tribals have lined up for so long they have given up. And our reactor is finally ready. It's time to build the ship. Alright, have your pencil and paper ready. We need 3 engine, 1 core, 1 beam, 1 sensor, 1 casket, which totals to 5,000 steel, 2k plasteel, 420 uranium, 400 gold, and 1 persona core. We can mine gold up here and we'll request the core from Custom. It's located far away with 11 turrets, 2 people, and 1 motor guarding it. To be safe, I'll make a smoke launcher to disable the turret. Now, where is it? Wait, is he smelting it? Are you kidding me, Pete? Whatever, man. I'll just brute force it. We'll send 7 shooters. Godspeed. Please don't get hit. Please don't get me and my fat mouth. And there's our persona core. 1.1 day travel time. And our ship is finally complete. And that is time. 13 hours, 10 minutes, and 27 seconds. This took way too long. Okay, goodbye.